After weeks of campaigning, polling day finally came to Wymondham. Early on Friday morning, Conservative George Freeman was returned as Mid-Norfolk's MP, with a majority of over 17,000. But in the afternoon, the focus switched to Long Stratton for the district and town council ballot counts, where, with no exit poll to guide, the outcome was less certain. Up for grabs were the 5 district council seats and all 15 places on Wymondham's town council, where each ward returns 3 councillors. Counting for the 5 wards of Abbey, Cromwells, Northfields, Rustons and Town got underway shortly after 1 o'clock. And it wasn't long before those in the blue corner were celebrating again.
I, Sandra Deneen, being the returning officer for the Abbey election, do hereby give notice the numbers of votes recorded for each candidate at the above election is as follows. Patricia Daw, Liberal Democrats, 258. Kevin O'Grady, Labour, 464. Robert Savage, Conservative, 857. The number of spoilt ballots is 15. The turnout is 69%. I hereby declare that Robert Savage is duly elected.
21-year-old Jack Hornby was contesting the Cromwell seats for the Conservative.
Julian Halls, Liberal Democrat, 676. Jack Hornby, Conservative, 713.
Shortly after, he was joined on South Norfolk Council by Father Lee, who polled nearly twice as many votes as the only other candidate in the town ward, the Green Party's Joe Hardy.
It feels like all the hard work we've put into our positive campaigns in town and Cromwell's has paid off. So a huge relief, and I think we both would like to thank all the people who voted for us and all the people who took part in the democratic process regardless of how they voted.
Local elections are about local issues, and that's really what I want to see forward. Obviously I live here in Spooner Row. We've had 1 or 2 really quite fundamental planning issues. We've had issues, almost a battle on a day-to-day basis with South Norfolk planning, and the reason why is because we're a service village. We don't fit into the Wymondham Action Area Plan. We have the maximum number of houses that are supposed to be built in the village of 20. We're now up to 40, and that number potentially is going to increase. And so, of course, you need a level of scrutiny, and I was obviously hoping very much to be able to get to district council and give that scrutiny to the district planning, because they're the people with the real authority.
Yep, very proud. Yep, that's good that we're both district and town councillors.
A blue clean sweep was completed as Peter Broom and Joe Mooney won convincingly in Rustons and Northfields respectively. All 5 district councillors also won seats on Wymondham Town Council.
I'm obviously very delighted that the residents have returned me to South Norfolk Council and also put me back onto the Town Council. I'm really pleased and looking forward to the challenges that lie ahead.
There was disappointment for the newly formed Community Candidate Party, as none of their 4 candidates polled enough votes to take a seat.
I'm bound to be a little bit disappointed, obviously, that the Tories seem to have got back in numbers again. And unfortunately my running mate, Suzanne Newry, didn't get in, which is a pity, because she's already proved her worth, working very hard, and not only that, much more engaged than a lot of us, because she's dealt with a Facebook page and trying to engage in politics, and I think that's one of the biggest things, or clearest things that's come out of this election, is that the young don't feel connected with politics.
Well, of course, we put forward a full slate, 12 candidates, and the other parties had the opportunity to do the same thing. They choose not to do it. Well, I can't do their job for them. From our point of view, do all we can to take part in the democratic process. We've done that, and we got the results we did, and I'm quite pleased.
Julian Hall's district council disappointment was tempered by his winning a seat on the town council. He's joined by the only other non-Conservative, Labour's Doug Underwood, making a return to the town council in the Northfields ward.
Well, it feels absolutely great. It's quite nice to have some success here in South Norfolk, and Labour hasn't had a lot to cheer today, but it's nice to be back, because I've been a Labour councillor before, so I'm really, really pleased.
I mean, although we're both for the Blue Party, we still have differing opinions on some things.
Yes, we do.
But we'll work hard for the people of Wymondham, and we will also work hard with the Lib Dem and the Labour colleagues that we've got on the council. and we'll work for the good of the town.
I think it's most important in Wymondham to have somebody else who perhaps has got slightly different opinions, who can make sure that we challenge what's going on and make sure we do the best for the Wymondham residents, which of course is what I'm really all about.
I think we've got a good group of councillors elected, not just from the Conservatives but from one of the Labour and the Lib Dems as well. Well, I think the first thing to do is to have a look at how the Town Council operates, try and resolve the King's Head Meadow lease issue, and just to make sure that there are a couple of projects as well I'd like to start, like a Brighter Wymondham campaign. I've done some when I was on there previously, and it was quite successful, and I think it wouldn't decline slightly. And I want to work very closely with the voluntary sector to make sure that we work in partnership in order to bring various projects to fruition. And if someone comes forward to me or to us with a very good idea or a good suggestion about various projects, we won't just say it's not ours. We will look at it and we do all we can. If it's in the interest of the town, if it's a good idea, we will back them and support them.
First job is to try and sort out some of the issues in Wymondham. Wymondham, I think, could do with some new businesses. They could do with being a bit cleaner, because I think there's a lot of litter. And there's a few other things for young people, play areas. And they're the sort of things I really want to try and get my teeth into, try and make sure that we sort of have some of those things, particularly for the young people.
Excellent. Lots to do then.
Lots to do, but I'm sure I'm not going to be a voice that's going to be quiet, let's put it that way.
It's always difficult within the first few meetings or so, but it's better because obviously I am established, if you like. I'm only one of 3 councillors who's actually stood again from local government, so I do know what I'm talking about. That's within the environmental health specialism, so I've got some knowledge there, and of course I use it not always against, but often as not for issues, and of course that has been an issue with King's Head Meadow, that's been an issue potentially with Ketts Park. There are things that we've been involved with and things that people within the town are very unhappy about, or certain aspects that they're unhappy about as well. As always, the first meeting will be to divvy up who sits on which committee. Now, I'd very much like to carry on sitting on the planning committee, but there again, if you are in minority, you get almost to choose nothing. You obviously you volunteer for it. Hopefully I've got enough respect within that committee to go back onto that committee and have a valuable input, not just serving about politics. It's actually with a genuine interest of dealing with Wymondham town matters.
Well, I think town council, we've got to look at how the council works. We've got to look at maybe going into social media, maybe having a Wymondham Town Council Twitter and Facebook account, so that we can reach even more of the residents of Wymondham than we are doing already.
The South Norfolk plan, the actual has just come out. We need to ask for an extension of time so we can look at the Wymondham Area Action Plan to consider it properly. One or two little words like the maximum 2,200 has now become the minimum 2,200 houses. Well, that's got to be wrong, and you've got to consider it. And without proper infrastructure in place, how can you possibly deal adequately with that? And the railway bridge is another classic example within Cromwell's ward, where they need to sort that out properly before they even think about building houses right up lane.
It's always been my ambition to go into politics. When I was a wee lad, I said I wanted to be Prime Minister. I might not get that far, but I've always wanted to serve the people, and so I'm looking forward to doing that.
The first public meeting of the new Wymondham Town Council will be on Tuesday, May the 19th.